Sometime in the 16th century, a chilling story spread across early Renaissance Europe. According to the stories, a man named George, or John, sold his soul to the devil in exchange for a number of benefits he could not have achieved in the normal way. The devil would serve him for 24 years, after which he would take John's body and soul. If you haven't guessed, this is the popular, or rather infamous, legend of Johann Georg Faust. Whatever the truth of his life, he became better known as the man who sold himself to the devil in exchange for knowledge. The legend was so widespread that it was even adapted by playwrights such as Christopher Marlowe, and 2 centuries later by Goethe. But Faust is not the only person in history who is said to have had a making with demons. The list is long and includes artists, musicians, sea captains, generals, and popes. Even today there are people who sell their souls for various reasons, such as fame, fortune, military victory, the love of someone, or hidden knowledge. Cases involving people's dealings with the devil are just the tip of the iceberg when it comes to demons. Whether we personally believe in them or not, the concept of demons is deeply ingrained in our world. In fact, they are present in almost all cultures around the world. In Japan, there are Oni. Hindu mythology abounds with stories of asuras. In the Middle East, there are stories of genies. Jewish tradition tells of Dybbuk. Of course, Christianity tells of the evil denizens of hell and their leader Satan. These malevolent beings take different forms and characteristics depending on the region. Most of them, however, have a common trait of instilling fear or outright harming people. At worst, they can drag your soul to hell, where it will be imprisoned for all eternity. For many people, these are not just stories, but a very real aspect of life, a real entity that wants to possess them. In fact, there is real knowledge to this day that deals with the study and understanding of these infernal entities. It is called demonology. Essentially, demonology is the study of demons and the beliefs associated with them, especially about their nature, how to recognize them, and methods to combat their influence. In some cases, the science also deals with how to summon demons and make them work for you. Each culture has its own methods of fighting demons or summoning them. In this video, we will focus only on Christian demonology, although demons in other cultures are also very interesting and perhaps even scarier. According to Cambridge.org, the word demon comes from the Greek term daimon. In Greek mythology, daimons are lesser deities. Unlike demons in Christian theology, which are inherently evil, daimons can be good or bad. Angelology, on the other hand, is the science of angels. But while angels are messengers of God, demons are agents of evil and chaos. However, the reason the word has become something with a negative connotation may be because Christianity does not approve of pagan deities. Early Christians believed that pagan deities were nothing but demons in disguise, so that is probably the main reason. The word demon is often synonymous with devil. However, there is an important difference between the two. Demons are lesser spirits that can act on their own or under the influence of a higher power. At the same time, the word devil is reserved for the most powerful of these evil beings, most notably Lucifer or Satan. But whence come the demons or the devil himself? It is difficult to determine the exact origin if the whole Bible is to be considered. It gives fragmentary and sometimes vague explanations of their nature and origin. In the Old Testament, for example, there are evil spirits that torment people, as in the story of Job. Instead of opposing God, they serve as a means of testing a person's faith. At the same time, all other gods besides Yahweh are also called demons. Similar themes are found in the New Testament, but there the evil spirits that directly attack and subvert God's will are more obvious. They appear a total of 55 times, with 46 of them referring to demonic possession. On more than one occasion in the New Testament, Jesus performs an exorcism. Once he is tempted by a demon and successfully repels it, but perhaps the most extensive mention of demons is found in the Revelations, where it is prophesied that one day God's army and Satan's legion will do battle. In the New Testament, their role is clearer. They are enemies of God and humanity. As for the origin of demons, some insist that they are a separate malevolent class of beings. The most popular interpretation, however, is that demons were once fallen angels. Books like Genesis, Isaiah, and Revelation talk about fallen angels and how they oppose God.
How art thou fallen from heaven, O day star, son of the morning? How art thou cut down to the ground, that didst lay low the nations? And thou saidst in thy heart, I will ascend into heaven. I will exalt my throne above the stars of God. And I will sit upon the mount of congregation, in the uttermost parts of the north. I will ascend above the heights of the clouds. I will make myself like the Most High. Yet thou shalt be brought down to Sheol, to the uttermost parts of the pit.
Isaiah chapter 14, verses 12 through 15. Then, in Revelation, a passage tells how Lucifer and his servants fight against the archangel Michael and his army.
Then war broke out in heaven. Michael and his angels fought against the dragon, and the dragon and his angels fought back. But he was not strong enough, and they lost their place in heaven. The great dragon was hurled down, that ancient serpent called the devil, or Satan, who leads the whole world astray. He was hurled to the earth, and his angels with him.
Revelation chapter 12, verses 7 through 9. Finally, Genesis mentions the Nephilim, hybrids between angel and man. According to this passage, angels married human women and created the powerful but evil Nephilim.
When human beings began to increase in number on the earth and daughters were born to them, the sons of God saw that the daughters of humans were beautiful, and they married any of them they chose. Then the Lord said, My spirit will not contend with humans forever, for they are mortal. Their days will be 120 years. The Nephilim were on the earth in those days, and also afterward, when the sons of God went to the daughters of humans and had children by them. They were the heroes of old, men of renown.
Genesis chapter 6, verses 1 through 4. In the apocryphal book of Enoch, these angels are called watchers. When the Nephilim were destroyed because of the flood, their spirits may have become demons. The most common explanation for the origin of demons is that they were once angels. In fact, the mightiest among them, also known as Satan, was once the fairest of all angels, Lucifer. As described in Isaiah, Lucifer was the highest angel with the rank of seraphim. However, he wanted to be above God, and so he was cast out of heaven. Apparently, there were quite a few angels who allied themselves with Lucifer and were cast out along with him. The Spanish preacher and writer Alfonso Spina estimated that the demons total 133,316,666. He derives this number from his interpretation of a passage in Revelation, which states that 1/3 of the angels were cast out of heaven. At the same time, Johann Weyer calculates a much smaller number, only 4,439,622. In his book, Pseudo-Monarchia Demonum, Weyer insists that there are 666 legions, each with 6,666 demons, ruled by 66 high demons with ranks such as king, duke, count, president, marquis, and prince. If you are familiar with the first book of the Lesser Key of Solomon, Ars Goetia, the names and ranks of the demons in Pseudo-Monarchia Demonum are very similar, except for minor differences. In Ars Goetia, each demon has its own secret seal that is used to summon and control it. But more on that in a moment. Speaking of classifications, there are different ways that theologians and demonologists classify demons. The most popular is based on the 7 deadly sins. Lucifer is the demon of pride. Mammon is the demon of greed. Asmodeus is the demon of lust. Leviathan is the demon of envy. Beelzebub is the demon of gluttony. Belphegor is the demon of sloth. And finally, Satan is the demon of wrath. These 7 demons stand at the top of the infernal hierarchy. This is not the only existing classification of demons. There is even one that divides them according to their former angelic rank. King James, who published the most popular version of the Bible, has his own classification. He divided them into 4 categories: lemurs, spirits that haunt houses, possessors, spirits that haunt people externally, possessed, spirits that haunt people internally, and fairies, spirits that have special abilities such as giving prophecies. Meanwhile, in the Dictionnaire Infernal, a 19th century book on demonology, demons are categorized based on European courts such as princes, ministers, and judges. Another interesting question is the gender of demons. Like everything else in this thread, there is no one opinion. Some insist that all demons are male or all are female. Some argue that they can be both, while others believe that they are genderless but can change to male and female if needed. The best example of the latter are incubi and succubi. They are demons that sleep with females and males respectively. Incubi are male demons who seduce women, and succubi are female demons who do the same, but with men. However, there is a claim that succubi sleep with men to collect male semen, then turn into incubi to impregnate women. The offspring created from this union are called cambiones. Most books on demonology, especially those written by church scholars or clerics, discuss how to recognize demons. It also explains what to look for in a person who may be possessed or has dealt with the devil, as well as how to stop it. Signs of demonic influence include changes in behavior, aversion to sacred objects such as the crucifix or rosary beads, sudden and unexplained fits of anger, a strange voice, and speaking in different languages that are usually incomprehensible to the possessed. Later stages of possession include distorted body movements, self-harm, aggression, strong negative emotions, and supernatural abilities. In severe cases, more than one demon may have taken up residence in the body, sometimes even a high-ranking demon such as Lucifer himself. How do we fight demonic possession? With exorcism, of course. The Church has authorized and trained exorcists all over the world. However, calling a priest to perform an exorcism is not very easy. The Church must confirm in an indisputable way that the victim is possessed by a demonic entity. There have been many cases, especially in the past, where the alleged demonic possession was in fact mental illness. Tragically, instead of being treated, these people have been abused, neglected, or worse, put to death. Such is the case of Anneliese Michel, whose parents and the priests who performed the exorcism were convicted of her negligent homicide. However, there is a big difference between symptoms of mental illness and actual demonic possession. The best way to avoid becoming a target of demons is to practice constant spiritual vigilance, that is, to maintain a strong relationship with God and avoid occult practices. The boy on whose story The Exorcist is based was involved in spirit boards, which contributed to his possession. Still, I'm curious, how can you summon a demon? For starters, you'll need a grimoire. Grimoires contain information on how to summon demon-like creatures to grant your wishes. Summoning a demon requires extensive preparation, such as fasting, a magic circle, wands, and much more. This can take hours or even days, depending on which grimoire you follow. Be sure to make a protective magic circle or have a sacred object in case things go wrong. Next, you need to know the name of the demon you want to summon. Books like Ars Goetia list the names of powerful demons along with their secret seal. Knowing their name and taking out their secret seal allows you to summon them and bind them to your will. You may also need to utter invocations and incantations. Once the demon is summoned, tell it what you want. But we still strongly advise you not to do all this. Having barely scratched the surface of the demonology topic in this video, you are most likely wondering where the home of these creatures is once they are cast out. In 1985, Howard Storm died to answer that question for us. After falling into clinical death, he returned among the living to tell how hell is set up and what he saw there. But that story continues in the video you see on the left of the screen.